I gotta say, this food tastes really good. And I like how they cook it, and the portion feels just right though.
Yeah, but speaking of food portions, have you ever thought about how many people in our country are unable to have food on their plate? Some even struggle with malnutrition. And that's part of what we call food insecurity.
I never really talk about it. What's actually going on?
Let's take a look at what's happening here in Indonesia.
Indonesia is one of the world's largest agricultural nations. But food insecurity remains a serious issue, with 68 out of 515 districts still at risk. Even rice, the country's main commodity, is expected to see a yearly decline in production.
But does the dirt impacting though?
Sadly, it does. 28% of children under 5 suffer from chronic malnutrition. As of 2024, 7.2% of the population is undernourished. Nearly 20% of the children experience stunting. These are not just numbers. They reflect a generation at risk in Indonesia.
So, what's driving this condition?
In Indonesia, rice prices soared over 14% in just 1 year. 2024, the poverty line stands at just 595,242 rupiahs per month, which 75% of it barely covers food. When food prices rise faster than people's ability to pay, access becomes a privilege, not a right.
But what if there's a way to make things more even?
SIGAP harnesses AI to analyze databases, forecast food insecurity, predict harvest yields, and streamline distribution, turning data into smarter, more efficient solutions for food access. SIGAP utilizes household consumption data, nutritional status, mortality rates, pollution behaviors during famine, and economic status to determine which populations are at risk of food insecurity and accurately pinpoint regions to be prioritized.
Afterwards, data such as the Food Insecurity Index by Badan Ketahanan Pangan Indonesia or the FAO, Rainfall and Climate Data by BMKG or the WMO, and food availability and food affordability, and also the trend of crops harvest will be used to analyze and predict crops available the next season, areas in abundance, areas in loss, and also the price of the market. From this, decision makers have the data to predict the success of the harvest and to predict the areas in need of support to increase the stock of food in the next season.
With those two functions combined, AI can generate predictions that optimize food distribution. SIGAP will show which regions have a large overabundance of food and which areas are struggling in the next year. That way, decision makers will know where and how much to send because SIGAP will forecast the best recommended percentage of distribution, while considering the health outcomes of those areas, ensuring that progress can be achieved easily, efficiently, and accurately. This way, no food goes to waste, and the appropriate regions receive enough food. Plus, we can minimize scarcity and stabilize the market price, making it affordable and available for the population.
So, when we look at the dataset in analyzing food security, we find quite a few issues, both in terms of limitation and in how inclusive or fair the data actually is. Start with the food security dataset. The dataset doesn't take food prices into account. Prices can tell us a lot about accessibility, and leaving that out creates a blind spot. The rainfall and climate data from BMKG dataset is written in super technical coding language that really limits who can actually use the data. Some dataset only gives a national level picture or condition that doesn't break things down by region, like province or district. The food consumption data also doesn't tell what each region has or lacks in terms of food commodities. Plus, some remote, outermost, and underdeveloped regions are missing from the dataset, and those are often the places where we must need reliable data. To address the limitation of current dataset and build a more comprehensive understanding of food security issues, it is essential to integrate innovative and diverse forms of data collection. Daily or weekly food price should be incorporated into a centralized dashboard or data warehouse to better reflect economic access to food. A user-friendly Visual Dashboard should be developed, allowing public access and easy downloads in Excel and CSV formats. It is crucial to push for data reporting and dissemination at the provincial and district or city levels through cross-agency collaboration with institutions. Each regional agricultural office should be encouraged to report key surplus and deficit commodities to produce a regional food balance sheet. Altogether, these strategies promote a more inclusive and actionable approach, while engaging a wider range of stakeholders in food and nutrition policy making.
In 2025, we will develop the proposal and prototype for SIGAP, followed by stakeholder hearings. Subsequently, we will continue to develop the SIGAP program through 2026. In 2027, we will conduct feature trials and evaluations using selected samples, as well as beta testing. The program will then be refined based on the trial results throughout the same year. In 2028, we will carry out training and socialization activities for representatives from provincial departments. Finally, from 2028 to 2029, we will implement the program, conduct evaluation to assess its effectiveness, and carry out routine monitoring and maintenance.
Our project has a budget of $500,000. $350,000 will be used for core AI development, encompassing the crucial path of model development and software engineering. The remaining budget will be used on working fund for the project, supporting essential post-development activities such as application testing, continuous monitoring, and widespread application for community. Bringing AI innovation to this food security problem naturally requires cross-sectoral collaboration,
Involving both the community and the government.
SIGAP will be an agent of change, ensuring that available resources are directed to where they're needed most,
Thereby creating food security for future generations.
Because this isn't just about numbers. It's about the fundamental rights of each individuals in our nation.